1/3 of those Hispanic business owners are here in California, and 25% of those are here in Southern California. So you think of the magnitude and the numbers in that sense. It's pretty fascinating. That's for some reason, to be honest with you, that's why we as Latino Coalition, we were based out in Washington, D.C. We moved our headquarters out here in California. You know, it's nicer weather, yes, but you know, we wanted to get closer to our members in that sense. So I wanted to open it up, or if there's any comments, but what questions do you guys have? How can we answer something that's stimulated from what we're talking about from the different industries, or the numbers that I'm mentioning that you might have, you know, that we can help and have you, after this session, take something with you that can use tomorrow, 6 months from now, or a year from now when you're ready to take that leap. Don't be shy. Yes?
You know, I have a couple of good friends who are entrepreneurs.
Can you say your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Ken Camry. I'm with Toyota Motor Sales. And I've been with Toyota for 22 years. And I have very good friends. I've had the opportunity to be in several tasks or assignments at Toyota. So we work for Toyota, but we're assigned different tasks. But I've had the pleasure to do market studies and do things people don't have a chance to do. But my friends who are entrepreneurs come to me and ask me to speak to their groups or to speak to their associates, because many times the entrepreneurs are running so fast with their spirit and what they're trying to achieve. And I love the comment about being close to the consumer, the street vendor, right? But sometimes you just need that vision to step back a bit and kind of reflect and get a bigger picture of scope and connect the dots maybe. And I guess my point is, from the corporate perspective, I see that my fellow associates from the corporate perspective are far removed from that street vendor mentality. You know, I deal with engineers, perfect example of folks who build products, and they're very excited about this product that they've sketched out and they've created a manual for, and they've done all this stuff. And that's it. You know, there's no exactly. That's my reaction. Okay, so what is it? How does this help improve someone's lifestyle? How does it bring value? Well, why? That's not the point. I just did this. So it's very interesting what I see when my friends ask me to come speak to their group, and I see this real cool entrepreneurial stuff, and I deal with these guys who are very silent, you know, and it's just an incredible, you know, it would be interesting to have this discovery dialogue in that area.
Just one comment to that's related to social media is that sometimes, you know, people get they're in their company, they develop their products, they know their marketing communications, but in terms of seeing it from the outside, whether it's, you know, from a street vendor's perspective or, you know, thinking outside the box, is some of what we've been talking about here is that some of them letting those external consumers in, talking about it in their own way. You're going to see something that you've never seen before. And another example of Ford. Ford invited 100 bloggers, Twitters, photo bloggers to drive the Ford Fiesta for a couple of months and then write about it. And the road trips they took, and, you know, that's something an engineer couldn't do. But that's the benefit of thinking about how you're going to communicate with your audience in a new way, and engage your consumer in a way that's you know, never been done before. So, great point.
Let me go ahead and give a second point of view on that one. And I started thinking a little bit about, you know, what it means to be an entrepreneur also in corporate America, especially after our discussion, our kickoff discussion, when we were trying to figure out what message we wanted to bring to this group. And I realized a few things. So, you know, I've gone through a couple of startups the last decade, and the last one, we took it from pretty much nothing to 500 people now. And all are engaged with Fortune 500 companies. So I got the luxury of going through the startup entrepreneurship mentality but also engaging with Fortune 500 companies and seeing how they operate and what tickles them. And one thing that I was thinking throughout the week was you don't necessarily need to leave corporate America in order to be an entrepreneur. Look, the one person who came to mind as a phenomenal entrepreneur who is in corporate America is actually Jesus Matas. If you think about what Jesus does and how he thinks, he is the prototype of an entrepreneur. Last time I checked, he was in corporate America, right?
He still is.
He's right now running Latin American operations for IBM. But that's the type of spirit that's going to get you to begin to shift and move companies. So, I'm hoping that if you can take something home, is that you can go back to Toyota and begin to instill this appetite for engaging with the end consumer and doing things today as opposed to tomorrow or the day after. Understanding that, no, you're not necessarily stuck within a corporate umbrella. You can make some calculated risks. There was a book written by Ron Tarn. This is what the CEO wants you to know. I would take it a step further. What the CEO wants you to do is make those calculated risks. You will, in a good company, I should preface that, in a good company, you will not get fired by making good calculated risks. And please, feel free to disagree.
No, it's true. Let me share with you a personal story. When I joined IBM back in 1997, I had responsibility for 7 print catalogs in the U.S. And I had actually been a pioneer with Adobe based out of Santa Clara on PDF technology. So when I came to IBM, I said, why are you guys still doing 4-color prints? Your creative team has no idea what 4-color prints means. For those who are not in the print industry, you look at a piece of paper and you say, these colors look right. Well, my team was scattered all over the U.S. had no experience. I said, you know what? I'm doing away with the print samples. We're just going to do PDF. We have email. What the heck? I'm going to see the company $250,000 in just that one process. So they said, go ahead, take a shot at it. Let's see what happens. So we implemented. The agency's pissed because they just lost $250,000 of revenue. So I talked to my printer. I said, you know what? I'm not going to send you more files. I'm going to send it to you electronically. That's going to save me another $250,000. So in 6 months, I saved IBM $500,000. And I reduced my production cycles from 18 weeks down to 9 weeks. What does that mean to IBM? Well, we just saved, over the course of a year, $2 million. But that wasn't enough. I said, well, now we have the internet, we have websites. Why do we even have a print catalog? Let's cancel it. Let's have an electronic website. We used to call it e-catalog. In 17 different languages, I'll produce it from a database. The cost of doing that was $50,000 globally. So now IBM was doing roughly $1 billion of sales from one online website. That's the kind of innovation entrepreneurship that companies are looking for. Show me the return on investment. Show me the risk. We'll support you. And to your point, Eric, if they'll stand behind you, but you've got to show the business proposition. Do you want to add anything else?
Yeah, I do want to add because I think a lot of people are feeling so many restrictions because of our difficult economic times. And yet another dicho from mom is, that invention comes from necessity. Necessity is the mother of invention. And so whether it's good times when we get a bright idea and can innovate and make some change, or whether it's bad times and we have almost nothing to work with and have to or forced to for our next meal to get that good idea and make it move. Either way, we can do it inside the corporation, we can do it independently. I think all that we've heard today is talking about broadening the definition of what this really means to us. And what I also want to say, because I feel bad at the end of these days when people have all these ideas and walk away and kind of feel obligated to do something with your life afterwards, right? Don't feel that you need to take your idea further than that first bloom. You may want to take it further and be the person that makes the production, that manages it, that sells it, but you may be the person that wants to go on to the next big idea.